Welcome to this published author's interview. My name is Kenneth Muyingo, and with me I have a special guest that I'm going to be interviewing. First, I just want to mention, if you watch this interview and you would like to write a book yourself, there's a link with the interview for you to join the group, become an author, and write your first book to connect with like-minded people who are doing the same. And with that said, I would like to get into the interview by asking my guest to say hello to our viewers and listeners and to introduce herself.
Hello everyone. It's always nice to meet you, and I am so happy to be here today. My name is Haneen Rezq. I am 23 years old. I am Syrian, but I was born in Jordan. And I love writing, and I love watching movies. And I love vintage old things, and I like collecting stones. That's basically what I like.
Wow, quite an interesting profile. Syrian, but born in Jordan.
Yes.
And you like writing, you like movies, writing, collecting stones.
Yes, and
Oh,
yes, I do like collecting stones. It's really nice. It's entertaining and absolutely lovely.
amazing. So the aspect of your profile that I want us to zero in on is the writing aspect. You have published a book. Can you tell us about your book and the vision that you had for this book?
My book.
Yes.
I published my book on July 24th, and I wanted to give the people and make them feel and clearly see the message in my book, which is basically about never giving up hope and always being hopeful. I mean, according to the struggles and all of the things I have been through, I recommend everyone going through anything like this just to hold a pen and a paper and write down anything that comes to their mind when they're feeling and when they're thinking about moments like these. It's always important to think and have your own voice. It is always important to have your own voice in something you would
Wow.
love to do.
Amazing. Never give up hope. I think I'm going to
Yes.
enjoy this one. So tell us about the title of your book that you published.
Yes, the title is A Shiny Dark Place.
A shiny dark place.
Yeah. I mean, people say that putting the shiny first and then the dark is kind of overrated. We should start with the dark and then go to the shiny. But I say that this book represents hope in life. And what is the image of hope is being shiny, okay? It's like when you're doing something and you're positive and you're hopeful that it's gonna work, then you're happy, and being happy is being shiny and all the positive emotions. And so about the struggles in life, it's the dark word. And about always being hopeful and always being thankful and grateful for the things that happen to you is the shiny word in my book.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like how you describe this. So the shiny is the hope and to have the faith and to believe in yourself. And then the dark may be
exactly
the thing that you're going through at that point, or the challenge that you're facing, right?
Wow. Yes, exactly like that.
And maybe I have just a bonus question right here. If someone is watching this and they feel like they're going through a dark place right now, and they feel like they don't just seem to figure out what next to do, what would you tell them if they're watching you right
I would tell them to be strong, because when you're strong, you can do whatever you want. When you have faith in your heart, you can do and accomplish whatever you would want to. This is
now?
my message: being hopeful and being strong throughout struggles, throughout crises, throughout every struggle or everything you face. You always have to be hopeful and strong. You always have to be strong. This is the key.
Wow, amazing.
Thank you.
I, yeah, thank you so much. What inspired you to write this book?
Hmm. Honestly, my life. I have lived a kind of hard life.
Yeah,
I never got what I wanted.
yeah,
I was the refugee in a place where people don't really accept refugees, or most of them don't.
oh my,
So I thought I have to get this message to people to see the things that I have been through writing short stories. And I did it. The main inspiration was the struggles I had, and so many other people inspired me.
yeah,
Um, my boyfriend Caleb Barr, he's been with me through all of this, and he's been supporting me ever since we were together. So I would take this time to tell him thank you for everything you did to me. And
amazing.
I honestly, yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Yeah, it does go a long way in life to have someone who supports you and believes in you and the beauty of your dreams. Because somebody told me something. He said, if you want to go fast, you can go alone. But if you want to go
Yes,
far, you have to find someone to go with. And it sounds like
yes, that
you
is
have
wonderful.
someone who is journeying with you on this uh, road of life, and I think it's very important. And
Yes, thankfully.
yeah, and that he also inspires and believes in you. That's quite amazing. How did you
Yes,
choose
yes,
the
that is
topic
amazing.
for the book? If we think about the book itself,
Um,
how did you choose the topic for the book?
I um, I would actually go back to most of the stories I read. It's been really inspiring, and I got all the inspiration from the stories. And then I thought that most people need to have this topic, and I felt like choosing something like this motivates people and make them want to do more.
Yeah,
And not just people. I started with myself first.
yeah,
I thought about myself, and change starts with you. And
yeah,
so I did. And then I thought, what impact would it have on people, and what would people do if they saw it,
yeah.
and if they read it, what would they react to it? And so, um, yeah, that's most of it.
Wow, this is this is um, very powerful stuff indeed. Change starts with you, and
Yes, exactly.
I see. And do you consider yourself as a naturally talented writer, or would you say that writing is a skill that you've developed over time? Because you say that you like writing, right?
Yes, I do.
So would you consider
Um,
yourself as a naturally talented writer, or is it something that you've developed over time?
I mean, I consider myself a talented writer, and writing is a gift. You just wake up with it. You feel like you have this ability, and you hold a pen, and you it surprises you of how many words you've written,
Yeah.
and how are you working towards making them bigger. And I think that I am a talented writer because a skill if it has to be a scale, it's a little bit of both. Because
Yeah.
if it's a scale too, then we'd have to work hard on it.
Yeah.
And so I think it takes a little bit of both. But for me, I think I'm a talented writer.
Yeah. It's just to add to this, somebody said something that the things we do repeatedly, we become better at them. And we may have the talent, but through doing it, we develop the skill and we become better writers. Would you say that this is something that you can relate to, that you have got better in your writing as you write more?
Um, everything gets better and better with practicing. So
It is.
if you practice your writing, if you're talented at any other thing, it always gets better with practicing. So you have to consider the fact that you are talented, but you also have to work on yourself in order to get better and better. And so you have to keep practicing towards getting where you want to get.
That's right.
So that,
And
yeah.
listening to your story about having to have been a refugee in a place where it's hard to be a refugee, and then talking about having a very tough time when you were growing up, and then the decisions that you made and the support and the encouragement you're getting from your boyfriend, all of this sounds
Yeah.
very inspiring, yes? But I am curious, what would you tell me is the one thing that has happened to you personally that has had the greatest impact on you writing?
I think that one thing that makes my writing more impactful is I have witnessed lots of hardships, honestly, and
Yeah,
struggles. I I would be treated like an alien here in Jordan because
yeah,
simply I was a Syrian and I was a refugee.
yeah,
But honestly, not all of them, but most of them would treat Syrians like this, and especially now
yeah,
after all this refugee crisis here
I see.
in Jordan. Yeah, and I think that made me feel so unwanted, unloved,
Yeah,
and absolutely isolated.
yeah,
And I thought that I need to do something about this. I
yeah,
need to talk to someone. I need to have someone to help me.
yeah,
And then I all I did was I grabbed this pen and started writing about how hard is it for me to live here.
yeah.
And yeah, ever since I just never stopped writing.
Wow. And I have another
Yes.
bonus question here. If somebody is watching this and they feel like they're in that place of being unwanted or even unseen, that they don't feel like people appreciate them or even want them to be where they are, what would you share with them from your experience?
I would I would honestly tell them to be strong.
Ah,
Strength is what keeps you going. Be strong and to believe in themselves,
ah,
to never lose faith, and to keep loving the this is only just for now and it's gonna happen.
ah,
So never losing hope.
ah,
Keep thinking of positive things instead of thinking of all the negative things.
ah,
And one more time, being strong. Being strong is the key.
indeed. Wow. Thank you so much. And so now that you have finished to publish A Shiny
Yes.
Dark Place, are you currently working on any other projects?
think and working on writing a novel right now.
Yes. And what's the title of the
Yes, I'm
novel?
working on a novel about. I haven't really picked a title yet, but
Okay.
it'll be there soon,
Tell us
hopefully.
about it. Tell
But I
us
haven't
about
picked
the
the title yet.
novel. Amazing.
Um, well, I have only written 20 pages, but from what I have written already, it's about a girl who loses her mom at a young age and keeps fighting to get um, to get noticed in society,
Wow.
and keeps fighting against her dad, who keeps letting her down and never gives her her rights, and basically just keeps her locked in one place and never lets her out. And so that is basically what I'm working on right now.
Wow, it sounds like an interesting story, Haneen.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
And this was very inspiring. Thank you so much for making time for the interview. I just want to know if somebody is watching this interview and they would like to buy your book, A Shiny Dark Place, where can they buy your book?
My book is on Amazon.
Yeah.
They can find it on Amazon.
I think I got a bit of a. You said
There's
it's on
an
Amazon.
ebook and a paperback. They
Yeah,
can get they can get it there.
very
It's
nice.
there on Amazon.
Thank you. And if somebody watches this interview and they would like to connect with you, how can they connect with you?
Um, I'm on every social media. I have Facebook. I go
All
by
right.
Haneen Rezq, REZQ, and I have Instagram. I have Snapchat. I have yeah, that's basically what I
Very
have.
nice.
But I have yeah.
Very nice. We will put the links with the interview so that if somebody wants to connect with you to get more information about what you do and A Shiny Dark Place, so that they can connect with you. And this was wonderful. Is there anything else that you would like to share that I have not been able to address in the interview, Haneen?
Um, I would just like to say, I would just like to tell all people going through rough times to be strong, always be strong, and have faith in themselves, and to never lose hope. So that is basically what I'd like to add.
Wow, very well said. Be strong, have faith, never lose hope.
Yes.
I'll remember that. Thank you so much, Haneen. This was amazing, and I'm so glad that we made the time for it. I will sure be keeping in touch with you as well.